doing a solo podcast for you people out there, whoever happens to be watching this, whether you're in the future or the past or the present, it doesn't really matter. You're here right now listening to this medium quality microphone, just talking to the abyss. I got a new dog. He's chilling up there in my bed. He's pretty awesome. Got a new pup, filling the void, the depression void of unhappy relationships can always be filled with getting a dog. If you're in a loveless marriage, or if you're, trapped in some guy's basement and he, does horrific things to you and feeds you, you should get out of that. And once you get out of that, you should get a dog to help cope and heal with the emotional trauma of that event. Dude, those stories used to always freak me out. When I remember there was a couple of them. I don't remember their names, but they would just find like girls in like some dude's basement for like 9 years, or some like horrific shit like that. It's like, oh my god. I remember being like a little kid when I heard about that. Some dude in like Florida or something, probably one of those great states. There's just some guy who would like kidnap middle school girls and keep them there until they were like in their 30s. I don't know. I could be making all that up. The memories are weird, especially childhood memories. You never really know what you don't know, It's all a mystery. But anyways, I'm doing a solo pod. It's like 1 a.m. right now. I'm pretty bored. I was writing some material and got pretty bored and thought, probably talking shit about shit would get the juices flowing, get some ideas. The problem is I have a bunch of ideas, but none of them are really good. That's the problem. It's about throwing as much shit to the wall as I can and seeing what sticks. That's the whole game I'm going for here. I don't know if this angle's good or not. You can see my laundry. You can see my at-home gym. My dog's leash. I guess I could talk about my dog. I got a little 4-month-old pup over there, the cutest little, most precious little thing you've ever seen. I'm not sure what type he is. He looks like a chocolate lab in the face. The people that I bought him from said they found him in a ditch when he was a month old. He was just a little baby puppy abandoned on the side of a road, and they pulled over and picked him up, and they said they've had him at their house for the last 3 months. Took him to the vet, got his shots, got all the good. He doesn't have AIDS. He doesn't have any of that stuff. So, I bought him. He's about 4 months old, maybe 5 months. Not really sure. They think he's a lab with pit bull in him. I definitely see a little bit of pit bull. He's pretty small. He's taking a nap right now. I would get him to show you, but I don't want to disturb him. He's sleeping so peacefully, He doesn't mind waking me up. He woke me up this morning literally chewing on my feet. He was gnawing on my toes like a freak with a foot fetish. Like that Rex Ryan, that football coach. I'm pretty sure he had a foot fetish. I don't know. I might just be making that up. I don't know. But he's a mutt. He's a mixture. Mostly lab, pit bull, maybe a little chihuahua, they said too, because he's a little scrawny thing, but he's so fast. He just runs with the energy of an atomic bomb. It is so very strange how quick he is. I mean, all of his parts are new. That makes sense. He's got new ligaments and knees. I don't know. Do dogs have knees? They don't have ankles, right? They just got those weird little deer legs. I don't know. I'm not a veterinarian or a zoologist or a Scientologist. I'm none of these things. I'm just a regular person. Oh, but yeah, got a dog. That's really cool. I haven't had a dog in like 3 years, man. Last dog I had was a black lab. She is about, I don't know, 15, 16, 14. She lived a while. She had eye cancer. Lost an eye. She was a great dog. Had to fucking stitch it up. She looked like a pirate for the last few years. She was awesome. But yeah, that was a while ago, man. I just haven't had a dog. And all my friends, my girlfriend had a dog. She had 2 dogs. My best friend has a dog. All my friends have dogs, really. I was the only one without a little pooch. I was poochless. But now I got myself a pooch, and I feel pretty good about it. What else is going on? Not Halloween. Halloween's over. Thanksgiving's coming up. Time for everybody to be thankful of all the material possessions they have. I'm thankful for all the stuff I can buy. The world is screwed up. It's a screwed up place we live in. The whole society, the whole idea of the mechanisms that are controlling what I don't even know where I'm going with this. I saw the Joe Biden said today that he's not going to legalize marijuana because he couldn't remember why. I think Joe Biden he gets the same memory loss problems you would get from smoking marijuana. It's kind of like that thing where like Republicans used to always come out against gay people. They would come out against gay marriage, and then you find out like 5 years later that some dude who voted against the gay thing ended up being gay. I think that's what's going on with this Joe Biden marijuana thing. I think he's smoking so much goddamn weed. He's getting so high, he doesn't even know, and he's trying to cover it. No, we can't legalize it. We can't we can't let other people have it. No, there's no way. Joe Biden's such a strange, he doesn't make sense as a human being. Like, if you just think if you saw Joe Biden at a grocery store, I know most people aren't big. I don't like talking about politics. It's all bullshit. None of it's real. It doesn't really matter. That's why I don't like talking about it. Some people think it matters and they're annoying. But most people know it's just horseshit. It's just a play. They're just actors. They're all bought and paid. They're all paid for by corporations. Everybody's owned. There's no one, I don't know. The country's over. Okay? It's been over. It's just how long until it completely decimates. Until we look like the riots in Hong Kong. They're literally catapulting they're catapulting like cannonballs into universities over there. I saw some video about it today, and it's like 25% of their population is like setting the streets on fire. And it's like, how long until that's Boise, Idaho? How long until New York City is just littered with Molotov cocktails? And I mean, it's gonna be it's gonna be fun to watch. The future's gonna be it's gonna be horrific. Lots of people are gonna die, and it's not gonna be good. But you know what? We deserve it, kind of. Like, I don't even feel bad. Like, if I'm the first one to die in some, futuristic revolution, I mean, I probably will. I'm not equipped to survive in apocalyptic scenarios. But I mean, it just looks more and more every day like society is just crumbling. There's nothing left. There's nothing of any substance or value, We have no currency. We have no control. We have no journalism. We have no media. We have no, there's no free speech really anymore. There's no platform where you can go and say anything you want. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But I think it leads to bad things. I mean, I don't know. I was watching some. There's YouTube videos of Alex Jones still. They're on YouTube still. I don't know how long, but they're like compilation clips of the crazy shit he's ever said. And there's like 6 or 7 videos, and they're all like 45 minutes to an hour long, which is hilarious because it's I feel like Alex Jones could be one of the best stand-up comedians of all time if he just quit doing his news show and just said, "I'm doing a character. I'm gonna do." He'd be better. He'd be better than Stephen Colbert when he had the Colbert Report. I was about to say be better than Chris Farley, but I don't know, man. I don't know. He'd give Chris Farley a run for his money. Could you imagine if Alex Jones was in like a Tommy Boy type of movie? But I was watching one of those clips, and it just like he said some absurd shit, obviously, but it's like you can't be wrong anymore. Like, what's wrong with just talking shit? You know, like if you can't do that, it's a slippery slope when you get rid of Alex Jones. You take him off of everything. It's like he can't, even if he's saying the most horrific shit, you still want people to see it to know what horrific shit is. Because if everybody's just blind to him, if no one knows that there's crazy shit out there, if no one sees that and goes, oh, like, if you're an adult, you should be able to decipher for yourself. You don't want to be spoon-fed opinions and worldviews your whole life. You got to step outside the box every once in a while, look at it on your own, and come to your own opinion. I don't know, most people probably don't agree with that. They're like, nope, I like NASCAR, I agree with it, but it's on both. It's not even a left or right thing. It's just, it's both sides of that's the thing. The whole thing is such a scam. Like, there's a left wing and a right wing. It's two heads of the same beast. It's a two-headed dragon that's trying to murder you and rape you and steal your money. And the fact that they argue amongst each other is just it's so hilarious. And people get caught up in it. The Democrats are, doing this, and the Republicans, they're doing this. They're the ones. It's been bought and sold a long time ago. And I didn't even want to go on this rant, but, it gets late at night, and the brain just, it goes where it wants to go. I don't know. I could be wrong, the system could be really good. Maybe things just are going really good. Maybe just, I have a cynical mindset. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe. I don't know. Or it could be that, major corporations have the ability to purchase politicians who have unlimited power over hundreds of millions of people, not just in this country, but globally. And maybe that's a problem because, politicians at the end of the day are just human beings, and human beings are all flawed. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody is a victim of human nature. And we're giving these people unlimited power to do pretty much anything that they want. And if there's something that they can't do that they want to do, they can make up the law to do such a thing. And then those people are owned by corporations. And then the people that have the power over the corporations are the bankers, because they're the ones with the money to finance these corporations or give them startup funds, or, they got the money. If you got the money, you can do anything you want. You can do anything you want with the money. That's why the Fed is so scary. They're unelected officials, and they can do whatever they want to any economy anywhere in the world. Literally anything they want. They're in control. They make the monetary policies. They're the ones that are making decisions at the end of the day, They tell the corporations what to do, and the corporations are the politicians. So at the end of the day, the bankers, they're running everything. You can be mad at the politicians all you want, but there's so many layers. There's so many deep, deep layers of this controlled society we live in. It's so weird, and people don't care. People don't want to know that they live in it. People like authority. People like, I didn't come up with this, but I remember I heard Tim Dillon talk about this. Great comedian. I don't know if he said this now or not. But some people just like having the boot on their neck. Like, some people just like being a slave. They really do have this, like, slave, the sheep herd mentality of I'll get in the pen with everybody else and, tell me what to do, and I'll spend 60 hours a week working at a job I hate for wages that are, not that good. Eating food that's horrible, I mean, it's amazing what humans will accept in their life or accept for their life. I don't know. That's why it's so weird living in America, because it's like everybody, freedom, we love freedom, land of the free, home of the brave. I mean, if you look around, does anybody look free or brave? Everybody looks hungry, but they're fat at the same time. It's a very strange physique that the average American has. They look malnourished, yet like 80 pounds overweight. And it's like, how do you do this? Oh, TV and Doritos that are microwaved with more cheese on it. That's how you do that. And that's a real snack that I ate today. You ever take that nacho cheese, Doritos, and put real cheddar cheese on it and then microwave it? Oh my god, that's some fucking redneck white trash trailer park snack right there. But god damn, dude. God damn. Who knows what's even in that Dorito dust? That's crazy. Man, I don't know. Joe Biden's a freak, man. I was trying to come up with some Joe Biden jokes. They're all just they're too weird. They're too much, man. It's like, because when you try to write jokes about shit, you wanna stay current. You wanna, like, I try looking at the news, but it's like, it's just such bullshit. You can't even like get any information out of it. So it's like you try to do jokes about stuff in the news. You're telling jokes about stuff that's not even like happening. And it doesn't feel right. Try to do some Joe Biden jokes, and they're all just you start looking into shit, you get sad. It's like, there's nothing even funny about this. It's just dark. It's just dark, there's video, like 20-minute long videos of him sniffing children, like he's doing some like ceremony with a little girl. He's like sniffing her ears and like grabbing it. It's so weird. You try to make jokes about it. Try to light it up. It's fucking, I don't know, man. It's gross. Best I can come up with is every time he sees an elementary school, he mistakes it for a candle shop, It's mistaking children for Yankee candles. I know. Man. It's a weird world we live in. Very weird world. But yeah, we just, I guess I can talk about this weekend. This weekend was fucking crazy. Past weekend, I've been, doing like a little mini tour, with some comedian friends of mine, Dustin Wood. He's a very, very funny, very talented comedian. Just one of those guys that's super, he cares about comedy, He's an actual, very well written out his material, he knows his knowledge of comedy history is very, very good. He's super fucking funny. I love when you, like, if you just talk to him in a conversation, he talks to you in bits, almost like in bit writing form, which is it's how he genuinely is, which is, it's awesome. That's what you would want out of a person or a comic, at least for me. And he take me. I can't fucking. What am I having, a stroke? 1:30 in the morning. I can't talk. I need to drink more water, honestly. But he's been taking me and another comic, Nick McCarr, another guy who I started out with, who's super super funny. One of the best physical comics that I've seen. That's not, like headlining or anything like that. He's super, just just his whole personality, his whole demeanor in life is so fucking hilarious. I love both of them to death. They're great. I appreciate everything they've done a lot for me. I've only been doing telling shit jokes for a little over a year, and he's having me open up for him, which is great. We're doing pretty cool rooms. Well, Friday night we do we drive down to Wairika, California, Northern California. Very strange, very strange part of town, or part of the state. I mean, it's like remote area. And that's mostly we travel through, Southern Oregon, down to like Northern California, down to like Chico, Sacramento. That's kind of the area we've been, rummaging around trying to find stage time wherever we can. And we did a show at the Rex Club. That's what it's called, Wairika. A really cool room. Not a ton of people, We're not really bringing people, you know what I'm saying? We're not big names or anything. But we had about like 20 people. Cool show, really cool room. I got to bring up my friend Justin Adams, who I do my pod, the other pod, the Schnock Blocks podcast. We got some stupid episodes up there, me and him. But he's one of the first guys that started doing open mics with. And it's really cool to bring him along and like do like an actual, not our first show together, but our first show like not in Oregon or not in our hometown, which was really like our first show that we got booked to do, which was really awesome. And yeah, we had a little party after. Got pretty fucked up. We we had to stay in a hotel. Dustin lives in the area, so he booked a hotel for the three of us. And we get to this little motel, and it's got one bed. One king-size bed for three grown, I shouldn't say grown, physically matured adults. Not mentally, physically. And all three of us, we were pretty slossed. We went to another bar across the street from the hotel. Very interesting. My buddy Nick McCarr, the other comic, he had these short shorts, these Santa short shorts, very effeminate, I guess you could say. And he started twerking on people at that bar. There's, Cardi B's playing, Nicki Minaj, people are bumping, grinding. Disgusting people in there, mind you. Some of the grossest, filthiest humanoids I had ever seen in my entire life were at this bar. And he's, bumping and grinding with them, getting beers. We got free drinks that night at that bar because of his dancing. I got some pretty great video on my phone. I don't know if I'll be able to post it because it's pretty incriminating. There was I don't know if you can say midget anymore, the M word. There was a little lady, but she was an elderly little lady. And she appeared almost out of nowhere. I think there might have been a rainbow, I'm not sure. But she showed up and she started twerking on my buddy, the guy that we were staying with, and this went on for hours. Got some hilarious video. One of the most insane nights. We end up going back to the room, and we cannot contain the beast that became Nick McCarr. He became the closest version to Wolverine I've ever seen, but like a drunk Wolverine, like that one movie where he's like a really sad alcoholic and he's like, "Oh, I hate my life," I don't know which one that was, but that's minus the depression and less claws. That's kind of what he was like. It makes sense in my head. I got the videos, but I don't want to put them out there because I don't want him to go to jail. Anyways, we get kicked out the next morning, actually, because we went pretty late into the night. We were getting calls from the front desk a few times threatening to kick us out, but they didn't do it that night. We were supposed to check out at 11 the next morning. We didn't. We slept in. It was like 11:10, and we hear the door open up. All three of us are in this one bed. Nick's in the middle. I'm on one side, like curled up, turned around. And my buddy Justin's on the other side in his underwear, wrapped up in his blanket. And, yeah, the maid comes in and goes, "Housekeeping," opens the door and just sees this giant half-naked man with two little boys next to him in a bed and just goes, "Ah!" lets out this horrific shriek, closes the door, and she's like, "Checkout's at 11 a.m." Saying some shit, and we're like, "Oh, okay, jump up." Nick's sober now, so he comes to realization. Calls the front desk. He asks him if we can get a late checkout. They're like, "Fuck you, you're supposed to be at 11." We're like, "Yeah, sorry." I ended up leaving a pillow there. I brought my own pillow, one of my favorite pillows from home, right back there. I brought it. I left it at that hotel. Nick left a shirt there. Come to find out later, we were banned from the hotel. No comedians are allowed to stay there anymore. I think that was because on the way back from the bar, Nick, they had like a little flower garden in the front. They had some nice, pretty pink flowers, and I think he grabbed them and threw them in the parking lot. I think he did that a few times, and they weren't really happy about that. So, yeah, they banned all comedians. Dustin called. He was the one that booked it. This is why I felt bad, because Dustin was the one that hooked all this shit up. He put everything together, and then we trash his room. We get banned. He calls up Nick. He's all upset. He's like, "Oh, you fucking idiots. What did you guys do?" Blah, blah, blah. And it was like, "We're sorry. We couldn't really help it. Shit got out of control." And then I start getting a migraine. This is like 1 o'clock in the afternoon Saturday. We drove to Shasta or Shastina or some little town like that. And we're doing a show at a golf resort that night, the next night. And I start getting a migraine at like 3 in the afternoon. And I'm like, fuck, dude. I get pretty horrific migraines time to time. It's usually on my diet because I eat dog shit food like Doritos and microwave cheese. I think that was why I got pretty hammered the night before. I think my diet and sleep and, just a lot of factors went into it, unhealthy behaviors. And so I start getting migraines like 3 p.m. and my vision is just gone. Like I get really spotty vision when I get a migraine. It like blocks my, I don't know the technical terms. I've had them most of my life since I was a little kid. The worst part of my life by far. Everything else is great. I can't really complain. If I could change one thing, it would be that I never got migraines, because they are fucking the worst pain. They feel like someone's taking an ice pick and just putting it through my eye into my brain and like slowly turning it at the same time. It's kind of what it feels like. And so I feel that coming on. We stop at a Ray's. I go in and I have to get some Excedrin, some pills. I take like 3 of them. And we go back to the room. We got a nice room, a really nice room, like a condo. We're on a golf resort. Like, it's in November, so it's like kind of shitty. It's not green. It doesn't look cool, but nice room. It's a 1-bedroom, a little living room, bathroom, 2 beds. We're like, awesome. Pull-out couch in the living room. This is dope. I take a little nap. Show's at 7. I go to sleep at like 4. Wake up at like 6:30. They wake me up, and they're like, all right, are you going to do the show? Because I can't see. I'm like queasy. It sounds like I'm being a real puss, which is the thing I hate the most about it, because they're so debilitating, and it's not even real. That's the part that's so frustrating about the migraines, is it's not like a real pain, Like nothing's physically, no one's stepping on my skull, but it feels like my head is in a vice and it's being like squeezed and breaking. Like it's so excruciating. But I can't, what am I supposed, oh, my head hurts. Like that's what I say. Oh, my head, I can't see. My eyes I don't see things. Like if I was trying to read, the words that I would focus on aren't there. They're just spotty. It's not good. It's called the Aurora or something. I don't know. I think that's a town in Colorado. Aurora. That's probably not the word. Anyways, I ended up opening the show. I did like 7 minutes. I can't see. I'm like, my fucking head is killing me. I go up there. I do some fucking R. Kelly joke. Did some joke about the sea turtles, getting straws in their nose from doing too much coke or whatever. And these ladies start talking. They're jibber jabbering. I'm like, what? Shut the fuck up. I don't want to be here right now. Just kind of lost my cool. Got paid though. Good pay. They paid us pretty. I mean, I can't complain. I'm a year in here and they're paying me to tell jokes. Like, what the fuck, dude? How fucking lucky could I possibly be? And it was a great experience. I come back. I left right after I did my 7. I'm literally opening the show. We're 10 minutes into the show. I get off stage and I'm like, see ya later. I'm walking back. The room was within walking distance. So I was like, hey man, love you guys. I'm taking off. Go back to the room. Go to sleep. Wake up. Probably like 11. I hear him come back. I hear Nick and Justin come back. And I'm like, all right, they're cool. You know, they had a couple drinks. I was like, all right, you know, still in bed. They came in, make sure I was still alive. I'm like, yeah, I was. Oh, I threw up when I come back. That's the other thing. The nausea from the migraines are so excruciating. And the pain so bad. Just laying there with my eyes closed, my stomach just churns and churns until eventually I just throw up. And I threw up a lot. And you know what? Did I get all of it in the toilet? No. But you know what? We're not perfect people. We can't get 100% of the things we want. And sometimes that includes vomit in toilets. And I may have ruined the bath mat with my vomit. I may have got some splashback on my legs and then climbed right back into bed afterwards. That might have been the situation that we were in. But that's not the important part. The important part is I wake up an hour later to Nick and Justin yelling in the living room. There is a loud thud. I go out of the room and I see them wrestling on the ground. The chairs are flipped over. There's a coffee table completely flipped over. The couch is destroyed. There's an oven and it's off. Like the oven that you pull down, the door is broken. It's off. They're on the ground wrestling, laughing their asses off. And Nick just goes, "Just piss on us. Just piss on us." And I go, "What the fuck has happened? What has happened?" There's a case of a 24-pack of IPAs. The case is there, but there's no full bottles. They're gone. They're all gone. And there might have been some mushrooms that were eaten by some of the people in that room. And I think that may have been more than they could handle. And they trashed another hotel room. Now, Friday night, I will take 1/3 of the blame because I was equally as rambunctious as them. But Saturday night, while I was throwing up in the bathroom, laying in agony, these two clown heads got fucked up and destroyed a perfectly good a perfectly good golf resort, condo, villa. I don't know what you fucking call it. It was a nice room that none of us paid for. None of us had the hookup. None of us set it up. Dustin Wood, the great Dustin Wood, did this for us. And that night, I went out there, and Nick sitting on the ground, just out of his mind. I look at him, I look over at the stove, and I go, "Did you do that? Did you break that?" He goes, "Yeah. And I go, "You're going to regret that tomorrow in the morning. You're going to feel really bad." And he kind of looks down, and he looks up at me, and he just spits a fucking few white little, just right all over the disgust. Just the dry, you know that dry saliva spit when you haven't had water in like 4 days and you've been in a car and your spit is thick, it's heavy. It's like a whipped cream type texture. He did that. He spit on the stove, and I was like, "What do you?" What? And he looked at me and he goes, "Don't worry, it's semen." What? What? It was a wild weekend, but you know, great shows, fantastic shows. We're not doing anything this weekend because Dustin, he's gonna be I think he's going to San Francisco. He's doing a spot at the Cobb's Comedy Club. It's a club, not a theater. It's a club, right? He's doing Cobb's. He was telling me about it. The pictures of it are pretty cool. I don't know. Very big for him though. I'm excited for him. San Francisco. they'll probably like him. It'll probably be his big break. Either that or he'll be stuck doing shitty golf resort shows with us. Which, I don't mind. I hope he doesn't make it. I hope he fails. I hope they boo him out of the club. I hope he doesn't get any chances anywhere else, and he's forced to tour with me and Nick and Justin, and we just do shitty gigs the rest of our lives until we die and our bones turn to dust and our consciousnesses get passed on into the next dimension or whatever, wake up from the game and remember who we really were before we were born into these bodies. That'll be cool. So, I don't really have anything else to say. That seems like a pretty good place to end it. It's fucking 1:45 in the morning. I mean, I got nothing else for you. People. If you're still watching this, you could, follow me on Instagram. Why? Instagram's dead, dude. Who cares? You know what we need to do? We need to make our own social media platform where you can say whatever the fuck you want. You can post shit. You can comment. You can direct message. No one gets banned, but you can block people. Like, what? Why are we banning people on Twitter? You can just block. I don't know. We're going to do a whole, spiel. I'll be here all night, unfortunately. But yeah, I thought my dog would wake up at some point during this, but he's still snoozing. He's out like a light. Out like a motherfucking light. Alright, well, I'll be recording two more podcasts tomorrow night. I'll probably be storing them up and uploading them on the channel. So if you enjoyed some of this bullshit, if you liked any of this at all, tell your mother about it. Tell your cousins. Tell your neighbors. Tell whoever you want to tell. And yeah, if you want to come out to some shows, hit me up with a little message. I'll let you know where we'll be going in the future. We actually do have a pretty fucking funny group of dudes. I really like the group. I'm so fucking lucky. So fucking lucky to be, where I'm at right now in this stage. I'm not satisfied, obviously. Still, I still want to be, I don't want to be an opener, doing shitty clubs. But this is where you gotta, fucking, you gotta get down and dirty. Gotta scrape up your knees. You know what I'm saying? Little Harvey Weinstein it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just kidding. I don't suck dicks. That's not my genetic disposition. So it's all downhill from here. Thank you guys for watching. I love you all. Remember to choose love over fear, and all that bullshit works if you work it. Whatever, man. Have a good day. Don't forget to call your mother. All right. Good night.